Good morning and welcome back to the channel. You join us on quite a sunny day today actually. Today it's December, sun is shining, but it's one of those days where it's just absolutely freezing. We've got a few things to do today. As you can see, I've got another big delivery from Autodoc. We've got some drive shafts in there, so I'm going to fit some drive shafts. We're going to try get the rear beam bushes back in and start piecing up a little bit back together, ready for when the coilovers come and we can get it all back together, because all I want to do is just get out and drive this car. I'm so excited for the day where it's sort of all put back together, tightened up, been checked over, and I can just go for it. So if you are new here, while I unbox this, I'm going to give you a quick recap of everything we've done to the Polo so far, bring you back up to date, and by the time you watch that, click subscribe, we'll be ready to go. This is my 1992 Polo Genesis Coupe, and I absolutely love it. Over the last 3 or 4 months, I've been trying to show this car a bit of love and try to restore it somewhat to factory standard, with not a lot of prior experience. I've been getting as many parts as I can and spending a load of cash to try bring this car back up to scratch. We've done discs and pads, we've relocated the washer bottle to the boot, I've unsuccessfully fitted a new bumper, and I've even built a shelter to take this car off the road for some of the more serious work, like getting all the suspension replaced with custom gas coilovers. We've then moved on to the more normal stuff, like lower control arms, steering arms, and all bushings, nuts and bolts, all replaced with genuine VW parts, just to try and get this car somewhat near what it used to be. So that brings you back up to date with the Polo. Now today this is going to be one of the last things that we do before we basically put it all back together. I've had a phone call from Gaz, so the coilovers are ready and they're being shipped to me. Unfortunately I was meant to go down and have a bit of a factory tour, video how they're made and stuff like that, but due to all the lockdown stuff I wasn't able to, which is a shame, but we move on, don't we? So today what we've got a couple more brake lines, a couple of rear brake lines, so that's going to be part of a future video when we do the basically a brake bleed and replace all the lines. We're doing rear rebuilds, all that sort of stuff. So that is that. But this one is about these. So these are complete full new drive shafts. We've got left and right, so you should have a short one and a long one. That must mean that you can't get them on the wrong way around, because there's a big difference between them. But yeah, so I've never done this before, I've never changed a drive shaft in my life, but it can't be that hard. We'll give it a go, we'll do it together. If there's anybody that needs to change their drive shafts, hopefully it'll help you out. So yeah, we'll cut to that, do it together, get started. So I started off by basically taking the drive shafts off. Now, they came off quite easy because all of the bolts holding them on were actually quite loose. But it made this job easier, especially since I hadn't done it before. Now I tightened them back up the best I could, but I am well aware that I do need to go back with a torque wrench and sort of tighten them back up to more of a factory spec. So after this, I turned my attention to the rear bushings, which again, I'd never done before, and this turned out to be a much harder job than I thought it was going to be. First things first, I needed to basically undo the bolt that held the rear beam on and get it out so I could start having a look at how I was actually going to get this bushing out of the beam. Now after a bit of a fight, the rear beam eventually came out and I got to sort of have a look at what I was playing with. I and much to my surprise, this bushing was not just going to hammer out. So I had to start thinking of other ways that I was going to actually get this out and get the new one back in. Right, so as you can probably tell from the sunset behind me, it is getting dark. We've managed to get the drive shafts on, that is great. I have not managed to get those bushes out. They are solidly in there. A lot of people say burn them out, but obviously I'm in a tent. I can't just burn them out and fill the place with gas, because that's not going to be good for anybody. So yeah, I'm going to have to come back another day. The video does not end here. I am going to get these out in this video, I swear. We'll come back another day, get these out. Hopefully my coilovers will have been delivered by then. But I'll fast forward to a future me who is going to be eager and ready to go to get these bushes out. See you soon. Right then, good morning. It is future and enthusiastic me. Well, it's just me and there's the enthusiasm pretty much. But I'm here and that bush is coming out today. I have, over Christmas, had quite a good idea. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of these. So it's a gear puller. Now I bought these to take my steering wheel off, to get that little, if anybody's ever had that, it's like the adapter for a large spline, because obviously our car's a small spline with like a large spline adapter on. So if anybody's ever had to get one of those off, you ought to be using that unless you've got a better tool. But that's what I used, and I thought if I basically use it in reverse, that might take out my bush. So we're going to skip to that right now. I'm going to speed through it, because obviously you've already watched me struggle. So I'm going to get it off. Hopefully it works. I'm fairly confident. But yeah, let's do it. Just before we get started there, if you haven't subscribed already, go click it now. I'm working out here. It's -4 when I drove down here this morning. It's Bank Holiday Monday, about 9 o'clock, and I'm here in -4 trying to get a bush out. So go click subscribe. My God, I am so happy that is actually out. I cannot believe how long that has actually taken. It's probably took an hour and a half the other night, and even with a gear puller, it's probably taken me another hour today. It was so stubborn. I ended up basically using like a 22mm socket, the other side, a bit like a bearing press, and just try to force it through. But yeah, I'm presuming that's the original one, so I'm going to basically wire brush it all on the inside. I'm guessing it's all corroded and that's why it was so hard to get out, but I'm going to wire brush it all and then get the new one in. So I made sure to give it a good wire brush and basically get off any sort of crusty metal that I could, and then spent the next several hours with some sort of homemade jig trying to get this back in. Now this is eventually what worked, but my God was it a pain to get done. But eventually, here we are. We've got a new nut and bolt to go in. And that is it. Job done. Now, as you can see here, it's not pressed all the way in, but it's not going anywhere. And to be honest, it's good enough. Once I get driving round, I'm sure it'll settle in and, yeah, do the job. So that is it. Eventually that rear bushing is changed. It's got a new bolt in there. Yeah, it's probably taken me the best part of 3 days, so it's been an absolute battle. I've got the other side to do at some point, but I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to do it yet, because obviously I feel like I'm going to need a while. That is multiple vices and stuff like that, multiple presses. You know, the bushing was in the freezer, loads of lubricants, loads of WD-40, and it's still taking that long. So yeah, if any of you do need to swap out a rear rear beam bushing, I suggest you just sell your car, to be honest, because it'll be a much easier way to do it. If you do want to see all the sort of unfiltered bits, all the battles that I'm having with the car, head over to my Instagram. I'll drop it in the description below. Go give it a follow. You'll see, yeah, me swearing at the car basically and having a couple fights with it. So yeah, if you have enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below anything you want to see on the channel in future, and I shall see you next time.